everything's okay. I said, but Fares, man, are the cash in transit guys? I haven't seen the van. Like, what's happening? I said, no, everything's okay. I said, but where's the money? The guy says, but it's over here. He had a funny pack. All the cash of the gig was in his funny pack, man. I was like, you guys, in that moment, I saw my life flash in front of my eyes. I saw disaster.
And what led you to get to that point? Okay, or maybe in fact, then let's hear then now what's happening in Kijiji.
Okay.
I think that now.
Okay, cool.
With Mavuno is very clear.
Yeah, and there's some connectivity, right? Like, so, for example, maybe let me start with Spread the Love. So because now we're doing, we've been in this gig world, we've been doing gigs, and so, so we're thinking of, what's the next thing that we could do, and I'd been dreaming about a festival, which is, a large scale gig, right? And I'd been dreaming of a festival, and we took a trip to the States. And on that trip, I met a guy who knew Dietri Haddon's manager.
Mm.
And I was like, oh man, yeah, dude, connect us. And Dietri Haddon at this point, he's a pretty significant artist in the Christian world. And then that conversation, now I'm like, okay, cool, man. What would it look like to bring an international artist? But then, oh, no. It was, no. I'm ahead of myself. Kirk Franklin knows who we brought first, right?
Kirk?
It was Kirk. Kirk came before Dietrich.
Wow.
And, in fact, here's a connection. So Isaac Ruchi, you remember Isaac Ruchi from Limitex, my boy in Uganda? So he invites Mavuno Worship to come for and be a curtain raiser for Kirk Franklin in Uganda, in Kampala at the Lugogo Cricket Stadium. And I remember, man, we practiced. We're like, man, this one we and so we went. We led worship at Watoto Church. It was called Kampala Pentecostal Church then, or maybe it had already rebranded. Led worship there, and that was kind of like a continuation of my relationship with that church through Milele days and whatnot. And then we played and curtain raised for Kirk, and we were smoking, man. Like we hit that thing hard. But we're playing Mavuno Worship Project songs, which is so cool, And I look out and I'm like, man, Isaac has gotten corporate sponsors. It's it's a whole thing that he's built that was just phenomenal.
And it was big time.
And it was big. It was big. It was like a really excellent gig, man. Like excellent, like any kind of festival, with proper crowd control and vendors and parking and security. It was like just excellently done. And I think for me, that's when I started catching a vision. I was like, oh man, maybe we could do this in Kenya. So maybe a couple of years later, and this is during that Mavuno South Sea season, Isaac is hosting. Isaac is bringing Kirk back to Uganda, and we talk on the phone, and I think I'd already kind of told him, man, I'd love to figure out how to do this. And so he's like, dude, let me show you how you do it on the cheap. Pick him on the second leg, so give him a second gig. So I'll do the huge cost of flying him from the States to Uganda, and then all you have to do is
flying from
Uganda to Kenya, and then we could do his flights, Uganda, States, Uganda, and then the return flight is Nairobi, States, right? So all I had to do was take care of Uganda, Nairobi, and then his fee and whatever.
Yeah, whatever takes to do the gig.
So and I remember, and that was it's still expensive. It was $50,000 at the time. But I was like, okay, cool, man. I think we can try this, right? Because this is an opportunity unlike any other, right? And you guys, it was literally, Kirk was coming on a flight from Uganda that morning, would have a gig that evening, and I believe, I think he even flew out that night.
Yeah.
He just had a day room at the hotel. So that was as seamless as you can ask for trying to do an international artist. So we're like, man, let's do it, man. And so again, this is that partnership with Mavuno, and so I came up with a spread the love concept. Kijiji came up with a spread the love concept, which I'm so proud that is still going on. Mavuno is still doing it.
I saw it like last week.
Yeah. And they're still using our logo and everything.
Like, what?
Which is pretty cool. That's something we started years ago, man. It was, I think Bupe designed that.
Yeah,
that logo. Yeah.
Even the Fearless logo.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool, man. That that you have there's some legacy things, which are they're pretty cool to see. I don't know what they mean, but they're cool to see and remember.
Yeah, they're nostalgic.
You know. So anyway, so we did the first, and then we also were like, how can music meet some level of social justice? And so Spread the Love was not just a festival; it was also an impact opportunity for us to impact society. And so at that point, Mavuno was doing some work in prisons, and also I think we did prisons and schools. Yeah. And so we're like, okay, cool, this is what we're going to do. We're going to take like a couple of schools, help them with library books, paint the school, give it a refresh. We're also going to take a prison and do something with them. So it was a whole ecosystem of not just entertainment, but social justice as well.
And it was also taking Mizizi to the prisons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that whole Spread the Love concept, that's how it came about. And so that first one, dude, I remember going to the KRA offices. Enough said. Because now there was this whole system for doing gigs, and there's all of these things. There's all of these things that happen when you bring an international artist. I remember there was a guy who was like an international gig mafia, who you had to go through to get your guys. I don't know what and this and that, but I was like, I don't know who this guy is. We're just gonna do this rojo. So we did it, negotiated with sound suppliers, whatever, and all of this. And so now, we're talking about now, the biggest gig we've ever done. And that was at Carnival Grounds. And that also inspired my use of Carnival Grounds for my album launch, by the way. Right? So, because I was like, oh man, we've done it before, we can do it. So we put together the gig, pay the fee at KRA office. I found out, in fact, if I'm not wrong, I think I got a call from KRA. And they're like, hey, we have seen posters, come visit. So I went to see her, and by then we became friends with that lady for years. Because let me tell you, so she went and said, okay, so how many tickets? She said, so now here's what happens with international gigs. You pay the taxes before.
In advance.
On the tickets you've printed. Then, now you can come and try and get a refund if you don't hit those numbers. And I was like, I remember that thing being so crazy. And I remember, she's an older lady. Me, I was like, Mom, wacha mimi nikwambie. I don't have that kind of money. This is the first time I'm doing this. She's like, now what can we do? So she allowed me to write a check that she wasn't going to bank until after the gig. So that's how she allowed me to do it. So I wrote the check to KRA, and you guys, bana, I can't remember for how many millions, bana. I wrote the check, gave it to her, and she said, now after the gig, come we talk, because then now you'll have all your numbers.
Yes.
Yeah. But the check, I have to get a payment for the government has to collect. There's nothing we can do about this. So I remember, Yani, you guys, I was shaking writing that check, because I'm writing a check that the government of Kenya will bounce. I don't know what this means, Bwana. So I wrote the check, I watched her with it, and we did the gig, and it was, that thing was so quick that I didn't even get to meet Kak, and I was footing his bill. Like, Yani, everything happened so fast, Yani.
I say this is home, y'all. Come on, say Obama. Obama. From Kenya. From Kenya. Everybody, Obama. From Kenya. Obama. From Kenya. Say Utadu. 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 Now I need you. You gotta show me how you dance in Kenya. I wanna, on the count of three, I wanna see how my brothers and sisters in Kenya dance. Wait a minute. And everybody standing over there, everybody over there, I don't want to see you dancing like this. No, I want to see you getting down. And all my people back there, I don't want to see you dancing like this. So are you ready? Can we dance? Can we dance? One, two, 3. Get on up. Get on up. Get on up.
But anyway, we did it. We collaborated with Mavuno. We did our first gig. It was super successful. Got corporate people involved, got Safaricom, because people were super excited about the social justice angle. They were like, oh man, this is not just a concert. You guys are trying to do something meaningful. And that was a great combination of entertainment and like a social campaign. Yeah.
But wasn't that thing stretching?
That thing was so stretching. So stretching, man. So stretching. I'd never paid anyone $50,000 before. All of this was brand new, man. All of this was brand new. It was.
And a guy like that, do you pay him before he comes in?
Oh, for sure. He's not coming to start chasing you for money. You pay him before he leaves.
Before he leaves the talk?
Before he leaves, yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a full and not even partial. And you can imagine, you're going to a new country.
Yeah, you know.
Who do I follow?
Yeah.
If you guys don't pay me.
Kanjii ni nani?
Yeah, exactly.
Kanjii ni nani?
Kanjii ni nani bana? Yeah.
Who Kanjii?
Yeah.
Who Kanjii?
Guys are like, I don't know what you're talking about. So we did that, and that was really cool. It was a great experience.
But that wasn't profitable at all.
No, that didn't lose money.
Oh,
so
in
fact, I believe it was profitable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because that's the only reason I would have done the second one, which is a whole other story. There's a reason I only did 2 of those.
Because this one you brought from UG.
Yeah.
He lied to you.
Yeah. You guy. So, but anyway, the Spread the Love as a concept was born at that time.
Wow.
And also a special mention. I've always had a heart for social justice, and I've always tried to figure out how worlds collide, you know. So a special mention, because out of Spread the Love festival came Spread the Love Honors. And Spread the Love Honors was, I think to this date, it's one of the coolest concepts I've had. We just didn't have the momentum to keep doing it. You know, so Spread the Love Honors was a very much styled to like a CNN Heroes. You know, where we got a committee of brilliant thinkers, and I've gone a little bit ahead in my story, but it's so connected to Spread the Love.
Exactly.
and that season. And maybe I won't even have a chance to get to it anyway. So Spread the Love Honors, we had a committee of top thinkers in Nairobi. So Gina Dean, Peter Nduati, formerly, we had David Makali, who was a former journalist, Alex Nyaga, Parapet. So we got some like heavy hitters, and we had, and this was like kind of like our board for Spread the Love Honors, and the whole idea was we had sectors of society, and we're trying to find people altruistic people who are making an impact, a powerful impact on that sector. And so there's a list of nominees, and these guys now would go through the nominees and select a recipient. We didn't even call them winners, because it's like, this is social justice. Yeah? So there were recipients, and so we had a gala night at what's it? It was a really nice hotel in Upper Hill. Tribe? No.
I know the one you're saying.
Yeah. Something. So we had it there, and this was a A-class event, tuxedos, tie, gowns and all of that, but like a proper award ceremony. But it wasn't for entertainment. It was for people who are making an impact in society. And that for me has always been one of my proudest moments, because I feel like we didn't have the momentum to continue, and you can't chase every good idea. But that's one of the ones that I'm like, man,
I'm glad I did this.
Yeah, I'm glad I did it, and I wish we would have been able to figure out how to keep doing it, because it was so awesome to award people. Miss Mary from Kibera, from Kawangware, who had taken on, she had brought on like this. She had started this school by herself with no like formal training for doing school, and it was reaching kids who were just abandoned and weren't going to school in the Kawangware area. And she had built it up, bearing guts and blood, sweat and tears, and built it into a space where she was having classes for standard, from pre-unit to standard 8, and and kids who and she was doing it for free. She would feed them. She would, and I'm like, there are people like that who are doing such incredible things, changing people's lives, and never get the light of day to be celebrated. Us guys are, we're entertainers, and we get the media, but for me, I was like, man, there's some people who really deserve it, man. And so that's why Spread the Love for me has always been like close to my heart. Yeah.
You guy, I'm about to blow your mind with a memory.
Yeah.
It's just connected.
Yeah.
That then leads to that TV show.
Yeah.
The pilot.
Yeah.
Can you remember the one you talk about?
Yep. I can't remember. What was the name?
Me, Kambua, and Amani Maranda.
Yeah.
That's the Mary's place we went to.
Yes. That's Mary's place. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And for me, my whole thing was, and dude, in fact, maybe someone is a filmmaker, and so maybe it's not my time, but I'm like, for example, I saw Truth Slinger
Mtu wa
Madheka.
Yeah.
He did this thing where he went to, old people's home in Kibera, and then did like hero photo shoot for them, and seeing and all of that, and for me, I'm like, man, there are such rich stories out in society if people are willing to find them, and you'll be shocked once you start going out, like that there are some unknowns, man, who are doing such incredible things. Like Brian Moremi won our youth category, and Brian Moremi was this kid. He must have been 19 or 18 at the time, and had a feeding program in the CBD, where he takes street kids and do a feeding program, and they'd go every Friday night and do a feeding program, and talk to guys, and encourage them about cleaning up their lives, and dreaming dreams and whatnot, and he has continued to do it for many years. I don't know what he's doing now, but he continued to do it for many years, but that was just a kid who was like, all these street kids, I think I can do something to help them. Without any funding, without any UN or any of that, decided I'm gonna go to the street and start helping people. Bro, I'm like, yeah, so I feel, I know it's a super segue.
No, it's
but I think for me it's something that I've always held close to my heart, and I think Spread the Love Festival gave birth to this, and which is still a big thing in my heart, Yeah.
Okay. But there was one that you kind of missed out.
Okay, but we've jumped.
I know,
now we're in a different location. But okay, we're on the Spread the Love.
We're on the Spread the Love journey.
Which I think is a good journey to take. Yeah. So now we've done a festival. It was successful. And what's the next question?
When's the next one?
When's the next one? And who are we bringing? So I get connected with a guy who knows Dietri, Haddon's manager, and start talking to them about coming. And Dietri, at that time he's married to Damita, and
who is also a gospel artist.
Who's also, and she was a big artist. Yeah. So it was the same thing. We're like, hey man, we'd like you to come. He's a da-da-da-da. We agreed on rates. And just a funny story was, my conversation with his manager, which we've always laughed at, because so Dietrich's manager is like, is telling me the fee, and I can't remember what it was, but maybe it was 60,000 or whatever. And me, I'm like, bro, I paid CAC 50. And I'm like, Dietrich ain't CAC. And I remember the guy got upset. He's like, hey, Kanjii, you can't compare nobody with nobody. I'm like, yes, I can. And I did.
You can't compare nobody.
Yeah, you can't compare nobody with nobody, man. I'm like, nah, I just did. I got 25,000. So that was an interesting negotiation. So anyway, so we did that. So Dietri Haddon is a very exciting entertainer, but he's not that known in Kenya. So
and this one, you're flying him from Stato to Kenya.
So now it's a full thing.
Okay.
Flying
you are Ruchi.
Yes.
You're the...
Yes, and then but then convinced him that we can do a band, we can do a Kenyan band, because I felt like we're a dope band in Kenya, and we can do Kenyan backing vocal. So he sends the songs, we start working on them. And Atemi Oyungu is like our vocal director, so she's working with a group of BGVs to train them, get them ready for Dietrich. Aruro is the music director. He's working with the band, and this is top of the top band. And we're now getting ready for this gig. Still start hit the circuit or for sponsorships and all of that. That's when I became friends with the people at Virgin Atlantic, because they helped us with tickets and all of that. But these gigs cost. And so this one we moved it to Impala Grounds. Off of Ngong Road. And so put everything together.
Is that also, just for the sake of understanding the gospel scene at the time?
Yeah.
Is that move also because of the connotation around carnival? And now this is a gospel artist?
Not really.
It wasn't?
Not really. I think it was just
cheaper.
Maybe it was cheaper, or we wanted a different venue.
Okay.
Maybe we felt it was more central.
Okay.
I can't remember all the thinking, but it wasn't that.
Okay.
That never affected my thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that was a thought in the industry.
For sure.
Like, how can they do a gig at Carnival?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, so we moved it to Impala Grounds. So we've done everything, billboards, the whole works. And I mean, it was a whole thing, where you have to do TV ads, have to do billboards. And, Mwendi, at this point, Mwendi has always been in advertising, and she, more than anyone else, was responsible for building the Kijiji brands. And what they looked like, what they felt like, and the strategy behind them, and all of that. So we've done this thing, man. And so we've gone as hard as we can, advertised as hard as we can, done everything we know how to do to have a successful event. So Dietri lands, he even comes to one of our project areas. And those ones, you're trying to find a sponsor. Sometimes you get cash, other times you get people who give you what you need. So flights, Virgin Atlantic, hotel, Hilton is a sponsor. Hey, can put him up in your presidential or your nice suite room for, and you guys are a sponsor. So that's what you're doing, right? So you're trying to either reduce cost or bring in money, right? So we did as good as we can. The gig day comes. So I'm trying to figure out which story to tell, because there are quite a few of them. Gig comes, we've got all these curtain raisers, because it's a festival. So guys are there for hours. So you have to have all these musical acts. In fact, they're not even curtain, they're just acts, musical acts, but you've got your marquee guy. And the marquee guy is Dietri. Dietri comes on, and he's a performer, man. That guy threw down. And, hip hop, all our artists are performing.
You were used this time you were in your pop era.
Yes. I remember I performed with Saints.
Yeah, you talk about dancers.
Yeah.
In fact, here's a photo.
Yeah. Hey, you guy, man. Bringing all
archives.
Bringing all my Milele showbiz into play. I performed, we had all these guys perform, attend, all this, everyone. And it's as far as a musical experience, it's amazing. So now,
and Dietri actually performs with the band.
Dietri performs with the band,
okay.
And the singers, how we had planned it. You guy, so at this point, I had a guy called Fares. Shout out to Fares. He was our office manager. Actually, he was our accountant. He was our accountant. So me, I've like, one of the things I was concerned about, and those days pre-ticket sales wasn't a really big thing. People would come and buy at the door. So, so me, I'm concerned about all the cash they were going to be receiving.
Yeah.
So I said, hey, we have to organize cash in transit. Those security vans.
Because we're going to have a lot of cash.
We're going to have so much cash. So I'm like, hey, Fares, make sure about an hour cash in transit, because it's Saturday. They don't work on Saturday, so you have to have a special arrangement. Like, boss, I got it, no problem. He's organized the thing. So Maze, when the gig now is going on, I kutana with Fares, right? And I'm like, hey, Fares, kila kitu ko sawa, everything is okay. yeah, no, boss, things are, he used to call me boss. I'm like, things are good, everything's okay. I said, but Fares, man, the cash in transit, guys, I haven't seen the van. Like, what's happening? I said, no, everything's okay. I said, but where's the money? The guy says, boss, it's over here. He had a funny pack. All the cash of the gig was in his funny pack, man. I was like, you guys, in that moment, I saw my life flash in front of my eyes. I saw disaster. I saw disaster. All the money could fit in a funny pack, and the funny pack wasn't even full. You guys, let me tell you, man. We maliza the gig, and all the big suppliers. We had live gigs. All the big guys, man.
Yeah.
We went home, me and my wife, you guys, and I'll never forget this. We figured home late at night, and I remember just we made tea. And remember just having tea and bread, and we were silent. We were not talking. We were not talking. Just had my tea and bread inside. We did not say a word to each other because all of us were doing the math for like, we're in ruin. We have got,
wow.
We are in, this is ruin. We cannot pay this. Yeah, we can't pay these guys. I think I'd done the same deal with my homie Hannah at KRA. I'd given her a check. Now for sure this check
is bouncing.
It's bouncing. And you get, for that moment, that night, I don't even know how I slept, Yani, because it was like, as in, we were facing total ruin, Yani, because Yani, it's like, I don't know how we're gonna pay this banner. And then now the next couple of days were
the next day they actually came to Mavuno.
Yes, they did.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
And I'm sure at Mavuno was just in a daze, like. So the next now maybe couple of days was now me just trying to figure out, okay, man, how are we gonna do this? And I think I learned a really good lesson there, which was, most people are reasonable when you talk to them. Most people are reasonable. Because I think what happens with a lot of guys, when you have something that fails and you end up in debt, you run away, stop picking up phone calls and all of that stuff. So me, I preempted. I went and visited guys. I went to live gigs and I was like, guys, I don't got it. I don't got it. And, just give me some time, let me just figure this thing out. And I went to the KRA mama. Said, hey, listen, I don't got it. I don't have it.
Yeah.
What can I do as far as a payment plan and whatnot? And everyone, let me tell you, bro, every single person, I did not have a single person cast me out. There are people who are disappointed, of course. But everyone was like, I'll give you a chance to figure out how to pay this. And that was one of the most brilliant lessons I learned from that season, which came to help me later on as I ran into different problems, where you make money, you lose money, and sometimes you just have to face up and go and talk to someone and say, hey, listen, man, I was expecting this. This is what happened, and so that season was that for me. Yeah.
When you're alone, where are you at in that season? Debt is, first and foremost, the amount of people in debt in this country is out of this world.
Yeah.
You get?
Yeah.
Anything from Fuliza to owing millions. You get what I mean? In that time, like, where are you at? Or what kept you still moving on, actually?
Good question. So, well, I think the only way I know is forward, you know, and I think I've seen it modeled for me. I think I know it instinctively, but I think I've also seen it a lot, right? And one of my, favorite phrases is fail forwards, like just keep moving. The worst thing you can do is stop momentum, So you do have a moment of woe is me, but you can't stay in that moment forever. You're allowed a pity party for a day or two, and I suck, and look at all this money, my family is in ruin. But then you have to get up, you have to get out of it and fail forward and move to the next thing. And literally those failures ended up being blessings, because number one, it got us into the corporate game, because of all the negotiations I had to do with suppliers and not suppliers, with potential sponsors, and all the presentations I had to put together, and the great conversations I had with Virgin Atlantic, with Safaricom, with who. I was like, oh, I can play this game, I can enter this game. And that gives birth to Kijiji, the corporate entity, which was a fall forward or fail forward. Yeah.
So had you not tried this gig
Yeah.
solo,
Yeah.
all that came after would never have come.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't even believe we get to do Safaricom live if I don't do the Spread the Love festivals.
Wow.
Because I had festival,
wow.
we had festival experience.
Even when you're showing them a presentation,
Yep.
you're showing them.
We had festival experience, man.
Dude, let's take a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
We're coming back to continue. Actually, when we come back, let's go to Kanjii the musician.
Okay, cool.
Hey, that's so deep.